Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My questions, without notice, are to the Minister for Finance and Planning. And they are in relation to an incident that occurred 2 years ago. The apparent or the alleged hacking of our IFMS system. Around this time last year, I asked a question as to what was going to happen in regards to investigating that particular situation. And I was informed, or we were informed, the House was informed by the then Minister for Finance, the Honorable John Pundari, that the matter had been handed over to the NIO to investigate. It's now 1 year. Some of us are still having these IFMS issues in our provinces. And we would like to know what has been done since the NIO has been tasked to investigate the apparent alleged hacking of the IFMS system. What measures have we put in place since then to ensure that this does not happen again? Thank you.
Honourable Minister of Finance.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the good governor for this particular question. In relation to the malware attack that happened last year, Mr. Speaker, through you, as this House is aware, when that incident took place, the Cabinet took certain reactive measures to what was seemed as an attack on our system that governs our financial system, especially within government. And NEC gave certain direction to then the Minister of Finance to undertake findings as to what would be the cause of that malware attack on the IFMS system. Now, Mr. Speaker, the House is aware that IFMS system is a system that currently most of our provinces and our districts are using. So when the central agencies of government were affected by this malware attack, so were our districts and provinces, and we had to take measures which included us migrating some of our accounts from IFMS system to the COVID-19 accounts and other subsidiary accounts that we set up so that we could create leeways for us to deal with that and at the same time establish what was the cause. Now, in response to the question of what was done, yes, as I am briefed, NIO, including our own department, the National Finance Department, through the ICT department, division within finance was tasked to establish what was the cause of this malware attack. And I will say to this floor that I have received preliminary findings as to what was the cause from our department. And I am also told that the NIO, which comes under reports to the Office of the Prime Minister, was also given a copy of their findings. Now, from our side at finance, I was not satisfied, but I wanted a second opinion on the report that came to my office. So since then, taking office, when we formed this government last year, I've asked my secretary to get a more expert opinion on the report that is available at finance, and then we can have a more conclusive finding and I can make it available to this floor. And that thinking has come about by not just bringing one report to the floor, which would be from our department, but getting someone more competent, especially in the field of forensic IT and IT specialists to have the know-hows to be able to track this type of malware attack and at the same time establish if there's individuals or organizations or corporate entities who are responsible for such an attack on our systems. So getting a more specialized company to come on board and give us a second opinion, and I can provide to Parliament, Cabinet, and for the interest of the general public on what actually happened through our own investigation, and at the same time a second opinion from a more specialist. So that direction has already gone to my department, and we're working in. I assure our good governor, plus our other governors and members on this floor and the general public that in less than 2 or 3 months, 4 months, as soon as that report is made available by that independent IT company, we will provide to the floor, Cabinet and the general public as well. And I thank the governor for giving such a question so that I could be able to respond on where we are as to that malware attack since it was affecting us last year. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.